I went through TikTok and found some of the best, also kind of just interesting, also just kind of questionable nutrition tips. So I thought we'd do something a little bit different today and go through them in today's video. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is going into TikTok, typing in just hashtag nutrition tips, seeing what the most popular ones are that pop up and going through those with you guys today. Now, I already did kind of just flip through these a little bit earlier today, see what I was getting myself into. And there are some pretty good tips on here. There's also just some pretty interesting things on here. So let's just go ahead and get started and check these out. Okay, I saw this one earlier and I really liked it. This was funny. This is actually a pretty good tip in general to use. I mean, if you have something that's in your house, like chocolate chip cookies that are easy to grab, or crackers or chips or things that you can easily mindlessly eat and they're in your house, just easy and ready for you to grab, yeah, of course you're gonna eat them. Who wouldn't do that? So especially when you are in the beginning stages of making these changes to achieve your weight loss goal or wellness goal, or whatever it may be, not having things in your house that will tempt you or not be in line with your goals, and just keeping those to more of like a treat meal structure, which are things that we've talked about in the past, will really be helpful in creating new habits. It doesn't necessarily have to be kale, and you don't need to be crying over your bowl of kale, but you know, something else. Cheese is a good option. Okay, here are 4 surprising reasons why you're bloated right now. I mean, salt doesn't necessarily cause bloating per se, can cause water retention. And then yeah, stress is actually a really big one, because what stress can do is it physically can shut off or really slow down your GI tract, which means that you're allowing that food to sit within your GI tract and ferment. And that's where that gas is going to be trapped within your GI tract and cause the bloating. So certainly stress belly, really, really real. that was a pretty decent one. Let's see what else. Okay, this is pretty funny. I've seen this whole Saran Wrap idea pop up a lot, and that this dietitian is making fun of it on how a lot of people will use like Saran Wrap to achieve a weight loss goal. I mean, this is what's one thing that can be a little frustrating with nutrition, is a lot of, there's a lot of misinformation, and Saran wrapping for achieving a weight loss goal doesn't really address anything that you're actually eating. So, you know, questionable, very, very questionable, but yeah, she's just making fun of that fact that some people will use that. Okay. So, I mean, this is something that they teach you in school. A lot of these like type of breakdowns of how you can assess how much of different foods that you should be having, but a lot of it's based off of like the USDA guidelines, which I personally not found to be very great. I mean, there's a few different aspects to this meal on that, you know, a little questionable. The green juice could be okay. I mean, you really miss out on a lot of the really great beneficial fiber that would be in greens. So that's my one issue with the vegetables part. But in general, the 2 fifths of veggies, like, yeah, that's awesome. You're gonna get fiber if you are eating the whole veggie. Then she goes into the carbohydrates, which, is that an Eggo? I don't want to be like judgy, but an Eggo? Okay. Especially something like an Eggo is going to have refined carbohydrates, which refined sugars, which that likely has both of, are really going to spike blood glucose levels, really going to spike the fat storing hormone insulin. Not to mention, we already have such a problem in the US with so many people who are diabetic and pre-diabetic. I can't imagine that having a balanced plate and having it include an Eggo with refined types of carbohydrates is a good idea. And bacon actually isn't necessarily a problem, so that's the one part that I'm in the most agreement about, other than the peanut butter as well, which it looks like that's peanut butter, I think, or maybe almond butter. And bacon actually is mostly, the fat is going to be from monounsaturated fat, which is something that everyone agrees on is heart healthy. I did more of a full video breakdown of bacon, which you can check out here. But this is, I mean, I'm really, the biggest thing here, like I could agree with a lot of it outside of this Eggo. Okay, I'm just gonna move on to the next one. I just love how creative this girl is. I wish I was this creative. People on TikTok are so creative with all of their editing. I mean, yeah, she does have some really good points on all of the various compounds that are in the different colors. With the idea of eating like the different types of colors, it basically comes down to that there's different types of antioxidants that are going to be in different veggies, or different fruits for that matter. So getting a variety of them will just provide different types of antioxidants that you can use for I just keep getting distracted by how good she is at this editing. Oh my gosh, teach me. But yeah, different vegetables, different fruits, antioxidants, thumbs up. Okay, so this one has some good aspects to it. It does have the vegetables, which is great. It has a ton of really great fiber-rich veggies. The protein, it says 25%, which I think she's meaning like 25% of the plate, but that's really not that much protein that she has on that plate with just the one egg. Just one egg is going to have about 6 to 7 grams of protein, which in a meal is really, really low. I mean, most people are going to need anywhere between 20 to 35 grams of protein per meal if we're looking at like a 3-meal structure. And especially as we know, protein is so key. It's so important for achieving a weight loss goal that it's really important you're getting enough of that. Or you could be adding on some type of additional protein source, whether it be pairing it with tuna or pairing it with chicken or pairing it with a little bit of cheese, tempeh, literally any other type of protein to make that more satiating. But just one egg is not really going to be enough protein unless you're 9 years old. Okay, let's see the next. Okay, so how to lose fat without tracking calories, which obviously you guys know I'm a fan of. So eat more fruits and veggies. That's so you can get more fibers, which helps act on that stretch mechanism within your stomach, tells your brain that you're full and satisfied. So definitely agree with that one. Drinking more water, absolutely, especially if you are adding in more fiber. Unless you want to feel bloated. If you increase the fiber and you aren't increasing the water at the same time, it's going to make it so that fiber just gets stuck in your GI tract. And that's where all the bacteria is just going to ferment on it and make it so that you're going to feel bloated, and that doesn't feel good. So definitely, if you are increasing your fruits and veggies, make sure that you are also increasing your water intake. Fitness is, I wish these were done individually. I can't read them all. You can spot reduce fat. Okay, that's a good one too. So spot reduce just means that you can decrease fat from certain areas and not others. So in other words, decreasing fat percentage from like your arms, but not your butt. Now, for the most part, this is really going to come down to just how you store weight or how you gain weight. And that's going to be where you're going to be losing the weight as well. Like some people are just typically going to be more prone to gaining weight around their belly, and that's where they'll probably lose it from as well first. The one little bit of an exception here comes down to stress. Stress does seem to specifically cause you to gain weight around the belly. This comes down to cortisol levels. And this is where some of my clients I've seen before where they've never really been one to gain weight around their belly until they had a really stressful experience or consistently a high stressful job, and suddenly they're gaining weight around their belly. So stress can make it so it's going to disproportionately cause you to gain weight around the belly. I think the reason, for some reason, this one's really bothering me. I think the reason why is, okay, I think this is why it bothers me. It almost makes it seem as if the types of foods that will support your goals are restrictive. I think that's a bad type of mentality to promote because there's tons of foods. Oh my gosh, I love the food that I get to eat. I love my smoothies. I love Greek yogurt. I love heavy whipping cream. There's so many things that I get to eat that I'm so excited about. And I think that making it seem as if, just cake or donuts and all of these really sugar-rich foods are the only enjoyable types of foods out there, almost as if this is the only enjoyable part of the meal is going to be cake. And I know that's not what she's trying to say. I might be a little harsh on this, but it's just because I see this so often. But okay, I'm gonna get out of this one. I have a feeling I'm gonna get some negative comments about that comment I just made, but that's okay. I don't get it. Okay guys, I think that's probably good for today. So clearly there's a lot of good information. There's also a lot of questionable information on TikTok. Anyway, I hope you guys like this. It was a lot different than what we usually do on this channel. If you want to check out one of my videos where I break down how you can achieve your weight loss goals without counting calories, you can check out this video next. Also, if you're new to my channel and you love this science-backed information, make sure you subscribe right here. Come out with new videos every Tuesday and Thursday. All right guys, thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you in my next video.